Good morning, you lot. Hope you're well and dandy. Here we go again. Up for another random video on a radio that I haven't looked at for a long time. I keep getting messages, questions, people looking at my old videos about radios. How do I do this? How do I do that? Now, I've done a video already on explaining how to get channel 19 on a DX5000 and all that. But everybody keeps asking me, how do I use the Squelch? And some people don't know what it is. They're like, well, what's this do? When I turn it, the noise goes on. Right. So, the Squelch, basically, it cuts out the white noise so that you can have a crisp, make it be quiet. I'll explain more in a minute, but that's pretty much what it does. You open it up, you close it, you do this, you do that. You can use it in any different way that you want to use it, really. Some people don't use it at all. And they just sit there with white noise going all the time, which is fine, whatever you want to do. So it's going to be a very short video, and I'll explain to you how I've used it over the past 10 years, and how I was taught to use it over the past 10 years, and hopefully we'll get somewhere. So I'm going to use the only radio that I've got left, this CB. It works the same on ham as CB. It's exactly the same. Squelch is Squelch. So you've got Squelches here on this radio. It's represented by SQ. Okay, and on these radios, it's the outer knob. The inner one is the volume. The outer one is the Squelch, and you can see that by the little picture. It's a very dusty radio because I haven't touched it. The little picture tells you what the knobs are. And you have to excuse the dust on the radio. It's sat out in the shed now for some months, and I haven't cleaned it off because I don't use it anymore. Right, so what you do, you see we've got a signal here of around about 6 to 7 of just noise because everything's very noisy where I live. So what you do is you can have the volume up like that, but if you turn the Squelch, I turn the volume with it at the same time, you get all this noise, which is just that ambient noise there. Now if you have it all the way down, you're going to hear everybody that you can hear within range. Yeah, you might hear little weak voices. You might hear little weak voices in the distance. You know that is your maximum. With that turned all the way open, that is your maximum hearing potential for what you've got set up. I'm trying to explain this in basic terms as possible so that you'll understand. Now, if you have that like that, and let's just say you're trying to listen out for somebody or you're calling out for somebody, you'd have that wide open. And once you've got them, then you can start to... You have to remember with these ones, when you turn the outer knob, sometimes the volume goes with it. So if it gets louder, it's not the Squelch making it louder, the volume knob is actually turning with, with the Squelch knob. So just bear in mind, the Squelch knob does not make the volume louder. Right, so let's imagine you found a person, but you don't want to sit there with that all the time in between your talking. Sounds like there's someone out there. So you turn that. Somebody out there. There you go. You turn that until the noise goes away. So basically what that's doing, now you've got your person out there, you've got your person out there you're talking to. If you can still hear that person now, that's good. You can leave the Squelch like that. It's quiet in between overs. You've got no noise, no crackling. You'll hear him talking to you and you can talk back. That'll be fine. But if you was to lose that person now, you're going to have to turn it back a little bit. And then you might get your person back. But you might have the white noise in between the overs. That's just the way it is. You're not going to be able to do nothing about that, because if you cut the white noise out, you're going to cut him out as well. Now what that does, this knob basically, it opens up like the full potential of your hearing, as I've already explained. And as you're closing it, it makes it more local, brings your hearing potential in even more. If you can imagine that, hopefully you can imagine. I haven't got any paper. If you can imagine you're in a circle, yeah, and you've got the Squelch all the way open, so you've got all the white noise, yeah, and you're in the middle of this circle, you're listening the whole way around. But if you close it, the more you close it, the closer in the circle to yourself you're listening for. And if you close it until there's no noise, you're listening for, you know, quite close around you. And only really strong signals might get in. It doesn't mean you're not going to hear outside. You could still hear outside of your circle, but only for strong signals. I'm hoping I'm explaining this right to you, so you understand. Now, if you close it all the way, so it's all the way closed, you're then listening for as close to you, right up to you, as possible. I hope I'm explaining that in the best ways for you lot to understand. Basically, turning the dial to the left is opening up the ears, so you're going to hear everything that you can possibly hear with the capabilities of your aerial, your location and your radio. Turning it to the right, turning it clockwise, is going to slowly reduce the amount that you can hear. But strong signals may still get in. I've been sitting there with the squelch quite closed, talking to a friend before, and all of a sudden I've had America come in from America, and I'm in England, so America's quite a long old way. You know, coming quite strong, quite clear because of skip. So you can still hear everybody. So when I first come into radio, I was like, oh, I want the squelch open because I want to hear everybody. I don't want it closed. I'm just going to put up with that white noise. But then I realised that's just silly because, you know, you don't need that. It's there if you wanna. If you're listening, you might be somewhere calling for CQ, or you might be really just listening for anybody, or someone might go, there's someone out there, and you're like, I can't hear him. So you open up the squelch all the way and you hear him just in the distance amongst the white noise. So that's how you use it. Like I say, some people just sit there with it wide open all the time. Oh, I don't care about the noise, and they sit there all the time. I couldn't do that, but it gets too noisy. I have it just on the edge. The optimum is just on the edge of where the noise stops and the quiet happens. So where you want it, the optimum place for just ordinary radio use, find where. See, look, we're just on the edge now, so there's no white noise, but every now and again a little bit creeps through. Now it's important to notice where your signal is will mean it depends where you're. If you're in a really good place and you've got like signal 1 of noise, so you're really low on the noise, which it used to be like that here before neighbours and everybody started installing Chinese equipment everywhere, and now we've got a lot of white noise. But you can have that squelch, you could probably have that squelch all the way near enough open. Before I used to better have it near enough all the way open and there would be no noise. That is that's brilliant. That's what you want. But this day and age, if you're at home, you're probably going to have quite a lot of noise, so you're going to have your squelch closed. Otherwise you're just going to have loads of noise. But there we go. I mean, I hope I haven't. I get accused of rambling quite a lot and making a lot of unnecessary talking, but I feel that I've probably explained, hopefully to the best of my ability, how to use the squelch. And over the 10 years I've been messing around with radio. Radio. You know, I haven't had any problems. It's worked brilliant. And just mess around. Don't take it too seriously. A lot of people, even old timers, but that's whatever. If you've been on radio for a time and you want to take it serious. A lot of new people come into radio and they take it very seriously, and they're like, oh my god, I must use the squelch properly. I must use the volume properly. I must do this properly. Otherwise, what's going to happen? It's going to break? No, it's no fucking what's going to happen. Just fucking use it and experiment. Flick all the knobs. Flick everything. Turn all the knobs. Turn all the dials. See what things do. Because that's how you learn, my friends. You change settings. You do things. Yeah, you might change a setting and then you think, oh fuck, now it's not working now. But then you've got to work out how to get it back again. The worst thing you can do, in my opinion, and I was guilty of it for a long time, is having a radio with loads of different knobs and settings, but afraid to push them and turn them in case I did something. Then you don't learn how the radio works. You don't learn anymore. You just stay in one place and stagnate. If you turn knobs, change settings, experiment with all the different settings that your radio has, you'll learn more. You'll explore the radio and use it to its full potential. And yeah, that's just how you progress. So don't be afraid, you lot. Don't be serious. It's not a serious hobby. There's a lot of serious people out there, but they're just twats. It ain't a serious hobby. It's a bit of fun. Enjoy yourselves. I'll catch you on the next one. Any questions, put it in the comments of this video and I'll do my best to help you out. All the best, you lot. Enjoy yourself, because that's what life's all about.